Hi, friends. It's your girl, Amy P., the Reimbursement Dietitian, your guru for making insurance actually work for your practice. Today, we're talking about a topic that I absolutely love, which is how sometimes hard is actually the easy way. Because what the kicker is for insurance-based practices is that insurance is not the enemy. I know we make it out to be, but it's actually your shortcut from a side hustle to a six-figure practice. And today we're going to talk about that. By the end of the video, hopefully you guys will start to be seeing this way as well. So as you guys know, I have been billing insurance since 2007, right out of my internship at Yale New Haven Hospital. I run a multi six-figure practice. It's a group practice where we have several amazing dietitians, all working and serving to make an impact. And so while most business coaches may talk in theory, I am a full-time operator in my private practice. So I've helped thousands of dietitians through my coaching programs, resources, master classes, and my YouTube channel. So I am no stranger to insurance. So let's get real. When you guys hear the word insurance, most of you guys think confusing as fuck, tons of bureaucracy, and a general soul-sucking headache. And honestly, I don't blame you. Insurance can feel like a monster, but here's the truth bomb. It's not actually insurance that's the villain. The real problem, the real, is most dietitians don't see the possibility of accepting insurance in their practice because it feels so scary and the territory is so unknown, right? But what I really want you guys to take away from this video is that there is so much untapped potential on the other side of hard, right? So it's things like these myths and narratives that we tell ourselves that keep dietitians from even accepting insurance and kind of putting them in the bucket of side hustle versus full-time job, which is what a lot of you guys want to be doing. And to be very clear, it's not actually insurance, like I said, who's the monster. It's fear and it's lack of clarity. You're not actually failing, but for so many dietitians and CNSs, your mindset is playing you, right? So you've been just looking at insurance for so many years the wrong way. And the reason being, I can speak from my experience, is during college, right? There's no talk about insurance. And if it is, it's very negative. During our internship, we get very little exposure, if any, to accepting insurance. And because of this underlying kind of cloak of secrecy, nobody really talks about insurance aside from in a negative light. So it's not a shock that dietitians have a negative concept of insurance, but I want to paint the possibilities, okay? And not only am I painting the possibilities, as I mentioned at the start of this video, I live the possibilities, right? This job that I have as an insurance-based dietitian has supported me since 2007, right? And we run, like I said, a multi six-figure practice. So let's talk about the possibilities, but more importantly, look at me, right? I always say to you guys, I want your businesses to be around tomorrow. I want them to be around next week. But even more importantly, 2 decades later, the Plano program is still kicking, taking names. So let's talk about the possibilities. Imagine this. I want you to imagine this, okay? You're seeing patients regularly and your schedule is not a chaotic mess, okay? You do not need to market on social media unless you absolutely love it, which we know most of you don't. Number 3, you're getting paid consistently and you're not hoping and praying that your clients will Venmo you after your visit. Your patients can come in as often as they need and their pockets are not screaming. Okay, so if this sounds dreamy, if this sounds like it's ideal, This is what insurance allows. So while so many dietitians are hustling hard on social media for random cash pay clients that they then need to sell 2, 3, 4 months down the road into another high ticket package, you, my friends, are taking the smart way, which feels like the hard way because you're building out a system and a model that supports your practice. One that pays you while you're sleeping, no more chasing payments, no more wondering if your client will rebook, and no more side hustle stress. Okay. But here's the T, right? Insurance lets you scale your practice without burning yourself out. You're not actually working harder, right? You are working smarter because we have changed the model in which you are using. Okay. And who does not love making more money while having less stress? This girl right here does. Okay. But this is where I want to like drill down. I want to get crystal clear. If you have an insurance-based practice, you will work your ass off. Okay. You will work your ass off, especially in the beginning, right? Because you have to learn the fundamentals of billing and put in the systems in place that are necessary for long-term success. Also, you have to love seeing patients one-on-one, okay? If you do not like seeing patients one-on-one or enjoy kind of the clinical aspect of dietetics of working with patients, this probably is not a good fit for you. In another piece, I see this all the time. Dietitians always say to me, but Amy, I want to be creative. I want to run groups. I want to create PDFs. And I only want to see like 2 to 3 one-on-one patients per week. That is absolute bullshit because you are not going to run a practice based on doing the things that you like, right? Why I say there is no burnout involved, because once you get a consistent schedule of anywhere from 15 to 25 patients per week, some of those visits may only be 30-minute visits, right? So you're not really working as many hours as it seems. And the fundamental reality is that, Karen, no one wants your 5 fat-burning breakfasts for $9.97. There was this obsession in our field with like passive income. But the reality is that if what you are creating first and foremost is not active income, we have no business selling fat-burning PDFs for $9.97. Okay, so let's be honest. I just want to be super honest with you. A lot of dietitians I hear say this, Amy, it's scary. I don't know what I'm doing and I'm afraid I'm going to fuck this insurance thing up. Okay. Yes, I get you. Because remember, I started this in 2007, like pre-Facebook pages. We used to have listservs, which were basically like email trails, like that you just kind of emailed questions to the whole list and then everybody responded back. So I know what it's like to navigate scary, unknown, rocky territories. And it can feel scary, right? But here's the truth. Here's the real. It's not necessarily scary. It's really an opportunity in disguise, right? It's like you're accepting insurance as like a superpower because the people, the dietitians who succeed, let's be crystal clear. They are not billing experts from the start, right? I was not a fucking billing expert. I was a dietetic intern, right? Like right out of my internship, I became a dietitian in October. I think I started accepting insurance, I don't know, 2, 3 months down the road once my contract started rolling in. So I did not know what I was doing. But the dietitians who take action, they see what's possible, they stop doubting themselves and start investing in themselves. And most importantly, they take fucking action, right? You can have the best plan in the world, but if you're not taking action and making decisions that move your business forward, you're equally as fucked. Okay. So think about it. What would it feel like to have a practice that actually pays you for your expertise? To stop scraping by just living paycheck to paycheck and finally scale without selling your soul, right? This can be you, mofo. This could be you, right? So let's get real. Your skills as a dietitian are super valuable, right? You know what you're doing. And yes, you deserve consistent pay. You deserve more patients and a practice that grows without draining your life. Insurance allows you to serve more clients, increase your impact, and finally see your value reflected in your bank account. Okay. And listen, I'm not going to give you step-by-step hacks here. That's what my coaching program's job is. But today I'm really painting the vision. I want you guys to start thinking bigger. I want you to stop fearing insurance. And I want you to start seeing actually the hard actually as the shortcut. Because at the end of the day, right, accepting insurance may feel more complicated path for dietitians because there's credentialing, billing, and administrative processes, but the hard way quickly becomes the easier, more sustainable choice once you kind of surmount those mountains. By investing effort, which I know you guys are not strangers to upfront, dietitians gain access to a steady pipeline of clients whose services, I want to say this, whose services are covered by their health plans. This actually is amazing because it eliminates the need for constant marketing to secure self-pay patients. So if you are not a fan of social media, you still want to do private practice. If for no other reason aside from that, you come to the dark side for insurance, it will eliminate your need for marketing. I do not have a social media channel for my practice. It's not to say down the road that I might not. It's just right now we have not found we needed it. So insurance reimbursement rates create financial stability because you know exactly how much you're going to get. It broadens access to care. And ultimately, it streamlines your practice growth and it makes the initial challenge worthwhile. Okay. So let's summarize this bullshit. Let me give you the cliff notes of what I want you to understand. So, number one, insurance is not your enemy. Number two, it's actually disguised as a growth opportunity for your practice. And number three, most importantly, you, my friend, you have the skills, you have the ability to grow in scale, but you have to stop doubting yourself and doubting this model, right? So if you're ready to see what this path actually looks like, check out my resources on this channel. There are hundreds of videos on reimbursement that your girl has created. And if you want to walk the walk and turn insurance into a full-time gig, I am your girl, right? This is what I do for a living. I don't just talk about this shit. We do it on the daily, Monday through Saturday, right? My practice runs on Saturday. It's always run on Saturdays. So I am your girl. Put in a link for my coaching program where I take you from overwhelmed to billing ninja superstar. And if you like this video, hit the subscribe button because every single week we release a new video on a topic you guys are struggling with in particular. Peace. Love ya.